held in the council chambers of the town office on September 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. This meeting is being held on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We extend our gratitude to those who came before us and have called this ancestral land home for generations. We respect and honor the treaties, reaffirm our relationships with one another, and move forward together in a spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. Call to order at 7 p.m. That the agenda for the September 22nd, 2025 meeting be approved as amended and attached to form part of the said minutes. Councillor Vic. So there was one amendment to the agenda, and we moved one item in camera, the offer to purchase negotiations. So if there's any other changes we need to make.
From administration.
Anything from council? Okay, all those in favor? That's carried. Declaration of conflict of interest. Do we have any tonight? We'll start with Kylie.
9.2.1.
Okay. And Stacy, you had one?
9.2.7.
Alright, perfect. If anybody else sees anything, just make sure to let us know. That the minutes of the September 8th, 2025 regular meeting of council be approved as presented. Councilor Newberg. Everybody's had a chance to read the minutes. See any errors or omissions? All those in favor? That's carried. That the RCMP report for the month of August 2025 be received and filed. Councillor Fast. And with that, I'll call on the staff sergeant. Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry I haven't been able to get here a couple times, but running all over for summer. So as far as the month of August goes, I had to move through all the files that kind of came in and nothing was glaring. There was a fair amount of calls for service, but nothing that really stood out as, I don't want to say problematic, but more of a shock value, we'll say, like something we've had a uptake in B&Es into the area, but we have had an uptake in solving some of these and actually catching some people, as I've done with a few of the media relations stuff that's got sent out for the few businesses that got broken into on Main Street. We have had some arrests and remands based on those, so we had a significant drug seizure out with the conservation officers here a little while ago, which hopefully stems some of the issues that we will see in the future. That person's still sitting on remand at the correctional. Hopefully he stays there for quite some time. So it deals with everything in court. Other than that, our staffing levels remain consistent. We have lost 2 members to transfer, but it looks like we're going to be getting 2. I've sent some feelers out. It looks like we're going to be getting 2 for replacements for those members in short order, we'll say. So we should be staying fairly consistent. Other than that, I don't have much else for you guys, other than you guys have any questions, comments, concerns for me to bring up.
Okay, Jeff?
I was reading somewhere that on Friday you guys are doing a Fill the Cruiser for the food bank.
That one's news to me,
I thought it was with the Chemettes. Maybe it's just a fellow van. I don't remember.
but I will double check on that. Maybe one of my constables.
It's a truck, eh? It's not a.
Dodge.
Is your Dodge or what?
It's Chrysler Dodge.
Chrysler Dodge. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, not that I'm aware of. Not saying
No,
that.
I read somewhere it was Fill the Cruiser for the RCP. I think it might have been Yorkton. But
I know we used to do that lots of times in Nipawin, fill
Yeah.
the cruiser, because we didn't have no car dealerships out there.
Yeah.
I know we were going to have members. I think Cadet has the Pumpkin Festival or something coming up this weekend. We're going to send one of our members pending calls for service out there, just do a little bit of PR stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, well, that one I was caught off guard with, but
Okay, it's not you guys.
That's
it's
not
a
us.
Fill a truck, right? So
Yeah.
I think I was reading one about Yorkton wanting to fill the cruiser. And I was like, is that us too? So,
No, not us. But nothing. We can't do it in the future.
hey, but it's always neat come holiday season.
Exactly. So
Any other questions or comments? I just had one, you kinda mentioned right at the beginning that you put out a couple of media releases.
Yeah.
Do you send copies of those releases to us at the town office?
We usually don't like, so how the process works is we don't release it locally from our office. It gets sent to media relations in Regina. So basically I will send them kind of what took place. They'll draft one up, and because we're a federal government agency, we have to translate everything into French. So then they take care of that, and then they disperse it through the media agencies. If you'd like, going forward, I can definitely, once they transcribe it and email it back to me, I can definitely send it off to the town office if you guys so choose.
Absolutely, I would like that too. Michelle, could you make contact, make sure you guys are
Yeah, and then,
connected on that? Sure.
yeah, and then if you guys want to, you can put it on your Facebook page or what have you, so. And it's no different than anything else we send out to any of the local media stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Just gives us one more outlet to get the information out to the people. So
Right.
So they see the things that are happening.
No.
Okay. Well, if there aren't any more questions or comments, so just thank you again
No problem,
for everything you guys are doing, and keep working hard for us, we appreciate it.
no problem, take care. If you have any questions, just, you know where to find me.
Yep, have a good evening.
You too.
You'll be filling a truck with food.
Yeah, exactly. Running all over the map. Take care.
See ya.
See you as well. So do we have any other questions or comments amongst ourselves on that report? Okay, all those in favor? And that's carried. That the financial reports for September 22nd, 2025 be approved as presented. Councillor Stewart. And Maria, do you have anything you wanna touch on at all on these?
Nope, this is just our typical AP listing for the last couple weeks.
Pretty straightforward.
Mhm.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments on this report? Alright, all those in favor? And that's carried. That the reports of senior administrative officials reported as items 9.1 to 9.2.10 be received and filed. Councillor Watts.
It should be 2.5 or 9 because we're in.
Oh, because we moved that one, 9.2.9. Okay, all those in favor? That's carried. That the department monthly reports be received and filed. Councillor Blair. And with that, we'll start with our community services and Derek.
I don't really have much to add. I guess there would be, we did sell a couple of lots, the one from a couple of weeks ago on 10th Ave. Sold for what the counter offer was. We sold a lot in Coventry for within the range that we're allowed to approve. So they're supposed to start building here right away, and the house is supposed to be moving in the next week or two. They're doing dirt work this week. We went to me and Holly went to a doctor recruitment trade fair at Dakota Dunes for an afternoon. So it's a bunch of residents that come around and they talk to all the communities. There was probably 75 different communities. We were beside Tisdale and Porcupine and Melfort and Kindersley. We're in our thing. A lot of positive from the doctor's side of things. It was good to hear there's currently right now we have 9 that have bought houses in the community and 1 renting, so we have 10 full-time positions. There's 2 residents. The one resident has been here, this is her 3rd time. She's done all her training here because there's a couple doctors here that are supposed to be excellent teachers. And the reason that the people are staying is because of affordability, safety, and the location. So just it was good to hear some things outside from from the outside world that are positive. So
Thank you, Darryl. Any questions or comments? I've got one. I was just looking at your statistics and indicators that you had there at the end of your report.
yep,
So I assume that's that's all of our social media stuff.
yep, for sure.
It seems to me that it obviously spikes during our heavy fishing season, which is something we're obviously all known for.
A lot of the spikes are based on the students being full time too, and promoting and going steady with promotion every.
Okay.
A lot more feeds, a lot more reels. So, but yes, a lot related to the fishing too.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious if there's other ways to tap into, you know, those January, February, March months when things are slower, tying into our snowmobiling season and things like that.
Most of it goes around events, and we are going to post for a student again, for that casual student that we had hours for. So
Okay.
we're hoping we're going to look a little bit more for somebody that's less engaged in what they have going on in their. Last year, the student we had was very busy with extracurriculars and graduation and all that. So I think probably somebody a little bit less involved.
Okay. No, it was interesting to see, so. Perfect. Thank you, Derek. Any other, sir? Okay, we'll move on to corporate services and Maria.
Sure. I don't really have anything to add. Training is going great with our new payroll clerk. It's a positive thing for us in the office and frees up a little bit of my time, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks once she's trained.
Excellent. Any questions or comments for Maria? Alright, thank you, Maria. And protective services, and Paul.
Yeah, so I changed the formatting a little bit for council here rather than just going with the tables with numbers. Just want to see if modeled a little bit more after the fire report. So just to see what council thinks of it this way, if they like this, don't like this. And it was just in regards to letting council know and the public at large know the staggering number of calls that bylaw and animal control are actually taking care of as well. I know when we talk about us having 200 calls in the fire department, it seems kind of awe-inspiring, but you look at Luke and he's already 500 calls, over 500 calls. Yeah, so what you have here is just kind of the highlighted ones. It wouldn't be every interactions that he had, but some of the biggies in there. Again, I think I touched upon it in my fire report a couple of weeks ago. Encampments are still being a problem for us, whether they're fortified structures like the one that I have pictures there that we had to take a bobcat to remove because it was like a little log cabin almost. That was built in 2 weeks because we had been through that area before looking, so pretty unbelievable. But again, all part and parcel with our homeless population and the problems that come along with that as well, which I think I've beaten to death sadly. Animal control is also somewhat part of that. We do see a lot of the same individuals that have animals that are neglecting them and stuff, and we have been much like we've been utilizing SCAN a lot. We've been using animal control quite a bit as well. So we did have an animal seized last week, which was good in that we were able to get this animal the help that it needed. It got it away from the owners that were clearly didn't really care too much.
Alright, any questions or comments for Paul? Alright, thank you very much, Paul. Okay, if there's no other questions or comments, all those in favor? That's carried. That council hereby agrees to consider an amendment to the utility rate bylaw to allow for a requirement that all residential utility accounts must remain in the property owner's name, and that public advertising be conducted in accordance with the public notice bylaw. Councilor Blair. And with that, I'll turn it over to Michelle.
Sure. This is a joint request from Jamie and myself, but Jamie's unable to be here tonight. So at this point, we're recommending that residential properties only. A number of business properties are owned by corporations that are outside of town. So we determined that it would be a good idea to start with residential and see how that goes and move on from there. And so our infrastructure, as we all know, is aging, and turning off utilities for non-payment and turning them back on is really hard on that infrastructure, and especially in the winter time when it's really cold, it can break, and it's very costly to replace a curb stop. So this would require that the property owners pay the utility bill, and then they would collect from the tenant. And this practice would reduce liability issues, and I know that's being brought up a couple of times or a few times. The liability of the staff turning on the utilities if the landlord isn't aware, or if there's a leak, this would be the property owner's responsibility, and then we know for sure the owner is aware that the water is on. And it will, and in the beginning, there will be quite a lot of administrative time required, transferring all of the account deposits over to the property owner, and disconnecting and reconnecting the bills for the tenants into the property owner's name. But once that process is finished, it should free up a lot of time where our utility department won't have to go around, sometimes on a monthly or bi-monthly case, when people are moving in and out, and I have to read the meter, and so we're anticipating that there will be large staff requirements, a reduction in staff requirements. So we also propose that I have sent a draft bylaw to the Saskatchewan Municipal Board. It requires approval from that board, and I haven't heard back yet as to if there's any changes that they recommended. And we recommended starting this at the beginning of February. That gives the landlords some time to notify their tenants of the change and get all the paperwork completed. And January 1st is a very busy time here at the office. We have to close the office for a day or two to transfer our books over to our software over to the next year. And so doing the utility turn-ons and changes over the Christmas season and the beginning of the year, just that's not really fair to our administration staff to have to add that on to their already increased workload at that time. So we recommended that it would take effect February 1st.
Thank you, Michelle. Are there any questions or comments? Joyce?
So this is for every landlord, it's not just starting with new services?
Right, it would be for every, and any multiple property owners would receive a letter that.
Oh, okay.
Les?
So then the meter fee that would be charged as well,
To the landlord, yes.
Cause
Yes. Yep, the deposits that we have on account now currently would be applied to the bill, the current tenant's bill, and then it would start fresh with the new on the property owner. Yep.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you, Paul.
that's not me, that's my chair squeaking.
Okay, that council hereby authorizes adding Kimberly Kozak as an authorized user for uploading payroll files to CAP for disbursement through Prosperity Credit Union, as recommended by the GM of Corporate Services. Counselor Stewart. Maria, anything to add here?
No, this is just kind of a standard, procedure with the credit union to make sure that users that are on the account are authorized by council, and they just request a resolution stating the name and the purpose of the employee that's being added to the account.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Pretty straightforward. All those in favor? That's carried. That council hereby agrees to amend the hours during which the town office is open to the public to 8:30 AM to 4 PM Monday to Friday, remaining open over the lunch hour as recommended by the GM of Corporate Services. Councilor Cox. And Maria.
Sure. So in April, we came forward and requested that council alter the hours for the town office being open to the public, opening up over the lunch hour, and then we had changed the hours from, opening from 8:30 until 9 AM, and then closing at 4 as opposed to 4:30. We have a lot of very positive feedback from, people in the community. We also have a lot of positive feedback from the employees that are able to leave at 4 and rather than 4:30. The only thing that I'd like to change is to open the doors at 8:30 in the morning as opposed to 9, because we still do have a lot of people that are used to coming at 8:30 in the morning before they go to work at 9. And the staff is really good at watching the door, and if they see people coming up to the door, they open it for them so that they're not turned away. But just for the sake of being consistent, I think we'd like to see that remain as 8:30 to 4 and stay open at lunch hour. I think it would just be better to have the consistency rather than sometimes the door's locked and sometimes the door's open, so.
Alright, thank you. Any questions or comments? Les?
So you'll be basically adding 30 minutes to your day.
Just 30 minutes to the time that the office is open. Our staff are here from 8 till 4. Yeah.
Any other?
Just a quick comment that I just want to voice my appreciation for the staff who obviously care about offering that kind of level of customer service to our community, so it is appreciated.
Thank you. I'll replay that.
Thank you. Alright, all those in favor? That's carried. That council hereby authorizes administration to apply to the fall 2025 Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund, CHIF, provincial territorial stream for the servicing and development of approximately 5 acres of land east of Walleye Park to support a smaller scale affordable housing multi-unit development and the extension of 12th Avenue as recommended by the GM of Community Services. Councillor Blair. And Derek will let you speak to this.
Thank you. So this is the new stream that came out for the CHIF grant, the original one we applied for. There has been no word on it. That was strictly federal, the 50-cent one that we had proposed for Coventry. There's been no word on it. This one is new, came from the provincial government, so it's 73 cent dollars or 74, just about 74 cent dollars. The reason for moving is because we've been developing Coventry for a long time, and maybe it's time to try and get somewhere where there is places where we could get multi-unit housing, smaller housing, maybe 650 square foot houses on one level, a little more targeted to the need as opposed to the executive style. We did no engineering quotes. It's all based off of what Coventry costs, because if you guys don't approve this, the engineering portion would be a waste of time and money. So
Thank you, Derek. Any questions or comments for Derek? Stacy?
Is that the property where you're gonna move the ball diamonds?
and that's why I had 5 acres, because I would still leave half of that property for 2 more ball diamonds. I would keep so this would be it's east of Walleye Park, but 5 acres in between Walleye Park and where we've located.
this be, like, would this complete 12th all the way from Third, basically to the highway?
Well, I'm unsure if we would be able to sneak pavement into the infrastructure grant, but the plan would be to do the road, but that would have to be budgeted outside of the infrastructure grant. The roadway doesn't fit the criteria.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if it was gravel, not paved, right?
Yeah, for sure, that is part of we've talked about that,
Okay.
and we were hoping it fit in, but we haven't found a place to make it work, so.
The amount of traffic that drives there.
So the water's already looped too, right?
It would be a short, there's none on that 5 acres. It's on the backside I'm not sure of the street. The one that goes where you turn to go to Abraham's or the school, or behind the school, that curved road where Northern Spruce so it's there, it's not far to go. And that's why I think we're probably modest or like excessive in our quotes, but I don't want to assume anything without engineering, so I went with the same price as it would be to loop the water and everything up there.
Joyce?
So this cost is basically to bring the water there and subdivision and everything else?
Water, sewer, storm, and we're there's power and gas in our plan, but that's one that we have a question in to see if power and gas is included in the infrastructure grant.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
And this is gonna be zoned for multi-residential units or under a certain square footage that the goal is trying to aim for maybe smaller community housing for like our seniors, like there will be limits to what you can build there then?
It's currently zoned R3, so it's zoned exactly what we want it to be. It's pretty well open to everything. And then the 650 square foot is something that we thought we would put in. Right now we're at 750 or 800 square foot is the smallest house you can build, so we thought if we lowered it, you could have a basement, you still get over 1,200 with it, so.
And it's this area?
Yeah, it would be on the east half of that lot.
You have to build a basement?
You don't have to, no.
Okay.
I think this is a good opportunity to target that more entry-level housing for the community, right? Seems to be the bigger demand right now. So, and we've still got some lots available up on top of the hill if people want.
And that's where some of the federal government that's been announced recently might trigger some of the help with building the homes once it's time for the individuals.
Okay, if there's no other questions or comments, all those in favor? That's carried. That council hereby approves the request from Reconciliation Nipawin to raise the Every Child Matters flag at Town Hall on September 29th, 2025 for a 2-week period in recognition of the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation as recommended by the GM of Community Services. Councilor Fast. Derek, I know this one's pretty straightforward, but
Yes, this one would be a follow-up from the Reconciliation Day that was in June, that they never had it this year for, I'm unsure why, just didn't work out for planning purposes. The reason it's not a repetitive request because it's a different day and a different time, so it's pretty straightforward what it's all about.
any questions or comments?
So we have done this before with,
Okay, all those in favor? That's carried. That council hereby approves a sponsorship of $3,000 to Nipawin Nutrition for Kids, with funds to be taken from the sponsorship budget contingency GL number 451620422, recognizing the important role this program plays in supporting children and youth in the community, as recommended by the GM of Community Services.
Not doing it, I thought for sure you were on
That was what you Counselor Stewart.
So this request came in quite a while ago, but with also a request of waiting for the proclamation of Nipawin Nutrition, like the Feed a Kid month. So, and I wasn't here last time, so when I seen the proclamation, I reached out to see if it was okay to the member that applied, and she said yes and gave a dollar amount on an ask. So
Perfect. Any questions or comments? So, hey, all those in favor? That's carried. Alright. The council hereby approves the demolition of the building located at 750 Railway Avenue, otherwise known as the old fire hall / car wash, as recommended by the GM of Protective Services, and that the tender be awarded to Tonka Boys Construction in the amount of $32,640 plus applicable taxes, to be taken from GL account number 421-220-222, bylaw maintenance contracted other. Councilor Newberg. And Paul, I'll let you speak to this one.
Yep, so, following, council's mandate, since my arrival here, council had always wanted to see 3 of our, nuisance buildings here, demoed if possible. We figured it was probably time, since the town owns this building, we should be leading by example. This building is in the process of falling down all by itself, so we should probably, be taking care of that. So the awards are there. The tenders were opened by myself, the CAO, and for legal, I can never remember your title. Legislative Services, my apologies, Jen. And they're nice to see our 2 local contractors were the 2 low ones, so that kind of made me feel good. Again, council could choose to delay this now if they want to push it off till next year. We do have it in budget this year, regardless of the pricing that we see here. Asbestos testing was done, I believe at the end of July. That asbestos was found and removed, and completely, it is now free and clear, so it can be demoed and everything can go into our own landfill without any worries.
Perfect. Any questions or comments? Kylie?
I have 2 questions. One is between the 2 contractors, the prices were extremely close.
Mm-hmm.
Are the timelines for them to both get it done the same? Like they can both get it done right away? Like, cause there's no timeline in here.
Yeah, there was no timeline put specifically in the tender. We did say that we would like to have an answer within 2 weeks of the award.
Okay.
Both of them, in previous jobs that they've done for us, have been willing to get these done usually fairly quickly, so.
Okay. And then the other question was, just cause, you know, having quotes and estimates,
Mm-hmm.
for the dad as a contractor, I know that they can sway vary.
Absolutely.
So these quotes, there will be no extra contingencies that come in where unexpected costs, like this is the price that would be awarded regardless?
This would be the price that would be awarded unless a plane crashes into it
Right.
or something else crazy. Yes,
Right, so it
exactly.
can't be basically an underbid and an
Yeah.
overbill.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah.
Joyce?
I was just wondering about WCV. Do both, or all of them indicate that they have a clear WCV account?
Yeah, that was part of the tender package, as well as making sure that they were in good standing with, I can't recall what the other parameters was. Yeah. Older liability insurance, that was the other one, we had
Yes,
that
and then some
liability
of
insurance,
those,
yes,
okay.
yes, yeah.
Any other questions? Les?
So is it empty now, or you're not using it for storage or anything?
We are still using it for storage, so we will have to find some space to put these items. Right now we do still have the, and I apologize for the name, but this is what we call the coffin trailer, that we use for, winter rescues. That will have to go someplace, whether that means inside the fire hall, or if we are able to salvage the newer area of the car wash, there's the new addition. If that can be salvaged, everything could fit right in there. we could move around some of the animal control stuff that we have in there. We have a bunch of kennels and a bunch of those kinds of things. There's some EMO delineators and signage and stuff like that. We could move that all around, it would all fit in there, so.
When you talk about salvaging part of the building, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, sir.
Would that work with our long-term traffic plan? Cause eventually this land here is gonna become a road.
I don't believe it is in the, I believe it's the next intersection, Councilor Stewart. The old car wash, the one that's
The old
further down.
car wash,
Yeah,
not the old
exactly.
car wash?
Yeah, it was, you are correct, at one point though, we were
We were talking
planning on
about
doing it there, and we were talking about doing exactly what we're talking about doing at the other corner.
Yep.
But that has now all shifted, so we actually, at the moment, we're not sure what we will be doing with the property once the demo takes place. Whether that maybe becomes land that we would try and sell, or we utilize that for, I was thinking maybe even fire training grounds. We could maybe move our items out of the town yard and up to there, I'm honestly not too sure.
Yeah, I just didn't wanna leave part of the building and then
Yeah,
years later, we're like,
100%.
we're gonna go ahead and have to tear this down.
Yeah.
And it would just be a very small section of the
Yep.
building, so if plans did a complete 180 or whatever, then we could, that part wouldn't be too difficult to take down if we needed it.
Were you thinking of salvaging the pad that it's on?
Yeah, there's really no reason to remove the pad. And the pavement, I know that was some of the questions that the contractors had come up with. The concrete mitigation was like, yeah, concrete's not going anywhere, man, it's gonna stay right there.
And I could just make another comment, the budget line that this is proposed to come from, we will still have funds in that budget to do at least one or possibly two more demolitions of derelict houses that will be coming up here in the next little while.
Go ahead, Les.
I would just think in the name of derelict buildings, if we tore that down completely and use some of that extra money to put up a coverall for your storage needs or something. Clean that corner up and make it nice.
Yeah, and again, I don't know, if it's plausible, right, if it's plausible to keep that section great, if it's not, then knock the whole thing down, and then yeah, we certainly go that route. However, that would obviously be, a different budget item if we're gonna be putting something up, constructing something, but that could be something that we, next
Snow
year's budget.
and everything else and just.
Yeah.
So, I guess talking that you might be salvaging a portion of this, so no matter what, like whether we take down the whole thing, including the addition, or we salvage the addition, this is the price we pay.
Yes, sir. Well, I shouldn't say that. We might be able to do some horse trading if we're not knocking the whole thing. The price was for doing the entire thing.
Right.
So it would be this, and I would, obviously, I'm pretty shrewd at negotiating. If we're gonna salvage some stuff, I'm gonna make sure we're not paying this price and salvaging some stuff,
And
unless it's extra hard to salvage it, then knock it all down, we'll build something.
Well, and I think that's partly what Les was maybe saying,
Yeah.
is maybe we should just knock it all down.
Yeah.
Just knock it down.
Just
Sure,
get rid of it.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, you're still left with a relatively derelict looking old
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanna
facility.
put something up there, start new,
Yeah.
and, cause the fire hall looks great. And
Yeah,
And I think we're trying to set a tone, right?
yeah,
That-
exactly.
And we have to abide to the same
Lead
standards.
by example.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd be more comfortable taking it all.
I was gonna say there could have been like an opportunity to wrap it maybe in some decklings. I'm kidding.
I know it makes it a little harder in terms of storage
No,
and
that's
stuff,
fine. That's
especially in the short term.
we're prepared for it regardless. So.
But you're gonna
What,
assess
what
this.
is the new part made of? What's the material?
It's also wood and tin, but it's just newer.
Yeah.
So it
Like
wasn't.
the old bridge and the new bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some
Yeah, the new
code
bridge is still
changes
getting
and some
pretty
updates, and yeah, there's actual right angles that you can see in that part rather than some of the stuff that's slanted.
Is there, in terms of landfill and stuff like that, cause there's a lot of tin in there, so does that get separated out,
That is part of it,
Yeah,
absolutely,
recycle is-
100%. Yeah.
part of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Alright, all those in favor? That's carried. council hereby authorizes a decrease of the required front and rear yard setback by 10% to allow for the construction of an attached garage, breezeway, and house on lot 5, block 23, plan 101613024, as recommended by the land planner, and that the variance shall take effect 23 days from the date of mailing the required notice, and that the variance shall take effect immediately if a letter of support is received from the adjacent property owner. And Jeff is not here. Michelle, can you speak to this?
I sure can. This is a property that was just sold, and the proponent is planning to move in a house and construct a garage with a breezeway. The development would, the proposal decrease would only be 2 feet, so it's not a huge movement, and that requires council to approve that decrease in the setback. The house next adjacent to it is 16 to 18 feet from the property line, so it wouldn't affect the adjacent property negatively. And Jeff is very comfortable with the proposal and allowing the 2-foot decrease. He doesn't see any concerns with it at all.
Are there any questions or comments from council? All right. All those in favor? That's carried. That council hereby agrees to an addendum to the shingle stockpiling agreement with the RM of Nipawin to provide the RM a right of first refusal with respect to any extension or renewal of the agreement upon expiry of the initial 1-year trial term, as recommended by the Chief Administrative Officer. Councilor Blair. Michelle.
Sure, so after council approved the agreement at the last meeting, the RM had a meeting and they were happy with the agreement. They just asked if we would consider giving them the right of first refusal. They're not positive how long it's going to take to stockpile enough shingles for to make it valuable to bring in the shredder, and so they just asked that council consider giving them the right of first refusal so that they can extend it for another year if possible, because they were the municipality that brought the proposal to us, and they just asked for consideration.
Any questions or comments? Pretty straightforward. Okay, all those in favor? That's carried. Okay, everybody take your time. I'm gonna have a drink before I read this one. Okay. Whereas the town of Nipawin is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in the town of Nipawin or visiting, and whereas fire remains a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and the presence of lithium-ion batteries in many household devices introduces unique fire risks, and whereas most of the electronics used in homes daily, including smartphones, tablets, laptops, power tools, e-bikes, e-scooters, and toys, are powered by lithium-ion batteries, which, if misused, damaged, or improperly charged, can overheat, start a fire, or explode. And whereas the National Fire Protection Association reports an increase in battery-related fires, underscoring the need for public education on the safe use of lithium-ion batteries. And whereas residents should follow 3 key calls to action: buy only listed products, charge batteries safely, and recycle them responsibly to prevent battery-related fires. And whereas lithium-ion batteries store a large amount of energy in a small space, and improper use such as overcharging, using off-brand chargers without safety certification, or exposing batteries to damage can result in fire or explosion. And whereas the proper disposal and recycling of lithium-ion batteries help prevent environmental hazards and reduce fire risks in the home and community. And whereas the town of Nipawin first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of fires through prevention, safety education, and community outreach. And whereas the 2025 Fire Prevention Week theme, Charge into Fire Safety, Lithium-Ion Batteries in Your Home, serves to remind us of the importance of using, charging, and recycling lithium-ion batteries safely to reduce the risk of fires in homes and communities. Therefore, the Council of the Town of Nipawin does hereby proclaim October 5th to 11th, 2025 as Fire Prevention Week throughout the town of Nipawin. Councillor Stewart. Any questions or comments on the proclamation? All right.
I do apologize.
Thank you, Paul.
I always miss it. Every time it comes around, I always miss Fire Prevention Week. I just happen to be on a public education teams meeting, and I was like, perfect, they provided it, here it is, I can just copy and paste it and throw it this way.
All right, all those in favor? That's carried. That bylaw number 1204/25, being a bylaw to opt into the application of the Safe Public Spaces Street Weapons Act, be introduced and read for the first time. Councillor Blair. And Michelle?
Sure, at the last council meeting, council passed a resolution to, opt into this legislation. Municipalities and First Nations, in order to have the RCMP enact the act, have to have a bylaw opting into the act. And I spoke with the staff sergeant again as recently as Friday, and he advised me that he was very happy to see this, and he's very supportive. And so basically what the act is that any weapon, be it axes or machetes, or I believe it's 30-centimeter long knives, or needles, fentanyl, methamphetamine. Now previously the RCMP had to witness those weapons being used in a crime to confiscate them. Now if they see them in public spaces, they can confiscate them from the people, and the property owner would have to go up to the detachment to request it back if they had a reason for doing it. But yes.
Thank you, Michelle. Are there any questions or comments? Bruce?
What's defined as a public space?
Any street, park, playground, public building.
If it's not their home and they bought it there?
Yep, if they have stepped off of their property 100%.
Yes. Yeah. Anything that's not private property is public space.
And I believe we'll be on kind of the short list on who's all approved this already too.
I haven't seen very many municipalities. Saskatoon, Regina, Yorkton are the three that I've noticed in the most recent past. There's a number of them that have indicated that they will be considering it or plan to opt into it. They just haven't done that yet. It's still relatively new.
It's ahead of the curve. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? That's carried. That bylaw number 1204/25, being a bylaw to opt into the application of the Safe Public Spaces Street Weapons Act, be read a second time. Councillor Watts. Okay, 1204/25 be given 3 readings at this meeting. Councilor Stewart. All those in favor? That's carried. That bylaw number 1204/25 being a bylaw to opt into the application of the Safe Public Spaces Street Weapons Act be read a 3rd time and finally adopted. Councilor Blair. One last opportunity to breeze through it. If you have any questions, comments, all those in favor? That's carried. On to the next bylaw. That bylaw number 1205/25 being a bylaw respecting the regulation, licensing, care and control of animals, livestock and poultry be introduced and read a 1st time. Councilor Watts. Michelle.
Sure, this bylaw, went to the standing committees later in the spring of this year, but due to the summer holidays and only one council meeting, we just held it off until now to bring it back. And I'll just go through the changes. So the first major change is section 8 on page 6, which reduces the maximum number of animals allowed from 10 down to 5. Even 5 animals is still quite a lot of animals for one home. And of course, boarding facilities, veterinary clinics, of course, they can have additional animals. Then we'll go to section 16.12, and it speaks to animals that haven't been claimed or sold. And the original bylaw spoke to the trap, neuter, return program, and we haven't been doing that program for a number of years, so we just removed that statement there. And 19.6 on page 14 describes the trap, neuter, return program, so that has been removed. Section 21 speaks to animals that have been confiscated and that rabies is not suspected, so that gives us, if rabies is suspected, then we can take the animal right away. Section 21.3 speaks to surrendering the animal to the animal control officer or the bylaw officer if they are suspected of having rabies. And 21.4 explains that what will happen in that case if they are suspected. And on Schedule A, which is page number in the schedules, just increase the rates. The rates in the previous bylaw only went as far as 2022. So the 2025 rates in the new chart are the same as 2022 because 25 is nearly complete, and then they were increased for the next year's coming, except for people that buy licenses. The standing committees had recommended that we reduce the fee for licenses to encourage more people to license their animal, and then increase the fines for animals found at large. So that is what we have done. And I think that, and then the fines for impound, those were recommended to be increased as well, and the penalties recommended to be increased. Those are all the main changes. If anybody has any questions.
I did notice that you added bees to livestock.
Oh, yes, we added bees. I knew that this afternoon. I'm sorry, I missed it when I was mentioning it. We do.
I've had people complain about their neighbors having bees.
Yes, yes. I approaches, I missed that word in the.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, this is just the first reading, so all those in favor? That's carried. That bylaw number 1205/25 being a bylaw respecting the regulation, licensing, care and control of animals, livestock and poultry be read a second time. Councilor Watts. This is quite a long one, getting a breeze through. Are there any questions or comments? I don't own a pet, so it makes it hard for me to worry too much. Okay, if there's no more questions, all those in favor? That's carried. That bylaw number 1205/25 be given 3 readings at this meeting. Councilor Blair. All those in favor? That's carried. That bylaw number 1205/25 being a bylaw respecting the regulation, licensing, care and control of animals, livestock and poultry be read a third time and finally adopted. Councilor Vic. Last opportunity, give it a quick breeze through. If you have any questions or comments, now is the chance. Okay, if there's no questions or comments, all those in favor? That's carried. Alright, that moves us all the way down to the round table. So today, Jeff started last time, we'll start with Joyce.
Well, for the last little while, I've been away, viewing our beautiful country, Canada, going down east and seeing what's there, and coming home and seeing that we have just as beautiful of a community as any other. We have to take more advantage of our lake or water systems and enhance that. And I also noticed that homelessness and encampments is everywhere. We're not unique. And one of the things that really got me at Peggy's Cove is while I was there, that's in Nova Scotia, all that's really there is a small fishing village and a lighthouse on some rocks along the ocean. Beautiful. But 14 tour bus come in that day. So it only takes something that's unique and use the media, and of course we don't have the cruises coming in, the ships and stuff, but still it still draws attraction to our water and our beautiful nature. And that's about it, other than having a meeting with the RM the other evening.
Thank you, Joyce.
Yeah, thank
Lisa.
you guys for sharing that perspective. It was quiet for me. I attended the meeting with the RM, but other than that,
Thank you, Lisa. Kylie.
Last Wednesday, I was in PA for the Wapiti Valley Executive Committee meeting. So that was about 3 hours in PA, and then I missed the RM meeting because I was in dental conferences in Saskatoon for 2 days. So yeah, more meetings this week. But no, it was good.
Thank you. Les.
The wife and I got to go see Keith Urban in Saskatoon on Monday night, and fantastic show. So I spent a couple of days in the city. Just to reiterate what Joyce was saying, we had some people come through the store the other day and expressing their love for Nipawin and how beautiful we are. And this come up at the RM meeting the other night too, that we just take it for granted, and we need to get out and see what's going on outside of our bubble to appreciate how nice is the bubble we have here. So I just wanted to expand on what you said there, we got it going on, but, other than that, that was about it for me.
Thank you, Les. Stacy?
CRM meeting.
That was the important one too.
It was, oh yeah.
Thank you, Stacy. So myself, September 10th, I did go to the airport meeting, advisory meeting. We talked about our developable lands, the cap funding update, and the fee update for the next year. After that, on the 10th as well, was our landfill advisory, where we discussed our the municipal user agreement, what that's going to look like going forward, and we did have an update on the scale and office installation there, which is coming along, albeit a little behind schedule, but we're moving. September 11th, I had the tri-municipal meeting with Mayor of Melford and Deputy Mayor of Tisdale, where I took the opportunity to share the shingle program that we're looking at partnering with the RM on, and they seemed interested. They may, sounds like they may talk to some of their surrounding RMs to see if there's interest. If not, they may even discuss diverting shingles out of their landfill to ours to help bolster the pile for the RM of Mifflin. So we'll see what that looks like in the next month and a half. Did also talk about the municipal election coming up in Tisdale for their new mayor. I believe one of their councillors has actually recently resigned to run for the position, so they'll have to have 2 elections. So, and then on the 18th, I was in attendance with most of council and administration with the town RM meeting, which I think went very well. It was a big first step towards coming together as 2 partners in the Northeast. So that's what I've been working on. And Jeff?
I was at that meeting too, and I can echo everything you just said there. The relationship feels as good as it ever has. I've been mostly a football fan, so like the Bears football. We are a young team this year, those Bears, right? So they're out there trying, like stand the line when you're grade 10, grade 12 is tough work, but 40 kids are in that, and kudos to all the coaches and everybody who makes that, and the teachers up there that are making that possible. It's an unbelievable amount of work for those kids to have football. So, yeah, I just look forward to this group that's young, growing forward. We're gonna have a great football program here in the coming years. It's getting better every time. There you go. Excellent. Bears.
Excellent. And without anybody in the public forum, we'll just move on. That the regular council meeting of September 22nd, 2025 be closed with Mayor Zacharias in the chair pursuant to section 122A of the Municipalities Act and citing exemptions contained in the Local Authority Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act under section 16, advice from officials, and section 122B concerns long-range or strategic planning at 8:04 p.m. Councilor Moon.